You have worked so much. You've studied so hard. But no matter how much you've done, you still feel like a fraud. See, I believe I felt this way my entire life, that no matter how much I had accomplished, there was someone out there who's doing what I do better. That maybe I wasn't as qualified to take on that project or to not pursue my own dreams, and that I really ought to leave that up to the professionals. I knew that I wasn't alone in this though, because everybody that I've interacted with discussing dreams and goals had some essence of this idea lingering around them. Even those who had made significant strides in their fields and were recognized for some of their accomplishments just could not get away from the feeling that somehow they did not deserve any acknowledgement. So what's going on? It could be that everyone was just being empathetic with me as I was being vulnerable with them, or maybe I just caught everyone at a bad time and they were all stuck in their work. But recently I was reading a book that pointed something out to me, and maybe there's something else going on here. It mentioned something that I had never heard of before, but it gave me enough information to make me want to research it further. And here's what I found. In 1978, two clinical psychologists, Dr. Pauline R. Clance and Suzanne A. Imes, coined a term that described high-achieving individuals who had an inability to internalize their accomplishments and having a persistent fear of being exposed as a fraud. And this term is called imposter syndrome. Finally, I'm able to put a name to a face. I have imposter syndrome. In fact, I know so many people who have imposter syndrome, we could start a freaking club. That's great. But, what now? It wasn't enough to just know what I was dealing with here. I wanted to know how to fight it. Although I still struggle with this daily, I'll let you know 3 things that I'm doing to help keep these unwanted feelings at bay. My first bit of advice is to write constantly. I bought a giant whiteboard and I put it up on my wall. I write down things that I have done, am doing, and will do, and I see my accomplishments being crossed off daily. My second piece of advice is to communicate. A lot of times when I'm working and I shut myself in and I don't see anybody for a long period of time, I end up getting lost in my own head. I always have to remind myself to step away from my desk, take a breath, and just talk to people that I haven't seen in a long time about the things that I'm doing. This one's hard for me because I hate talking about the things that I'm working on, in case somebody gives me some kind of feedback that will ultimately make me want to just overhaul my whole project. But that's what feedback is supposed to do. It's supposed to help you see your work with a different perspective. Hold on tight to that positive feedback though, because it will help break that self-doubt. But simply talking about your work helps you vocalize your accomplishments, and it begins to plant thoughts in your head that tell you that you are actually making a difference. And finally, my last bit of advice, number 3, is just getting out there. Imposter syndrome is debilitating and it will paralyze you if you let it. Make the things that you want to make and do the things that you love to do and share it with the world. It does, yes, I know, it feels incredibly risky because this world is full of critics, and if you have a fear of negative feedback like I do, this almost seems impossible. But surround yourself with people who support you and your goals and work hard. Go out and make beautiful things and inspire people, because guess what, guys? We're all a part of this thing together. There it is. Imposter syndrome. That's all I got, guys. Until next time, I love each and every one of you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Freaking Stranger Things going on.